Welcome to Capable Science. Today we're going to go over the first part of getting a file ready to print, and that is setting up your artwork. You'll see here that we have Adobe Illustrator open with an image of the SUNY Poly Wildcats logo, and we're going to show you how to set up this logo so that way you can create a decal that you can print from the printer, laminate, and then cut on the GraphTech plotter. So to begin, you're going to open up the file that you're going to be working with, and then you're going to select or create a cut shape. For this particular logo, we already have a cut shape set up, so if you press Ctrl Y on your keyboard, you'll see that the cut shape is already in place. And this cut shape will cut out a nice white outline all the way around the Wildcat, and we're going to make it so that the RIP software, which is the software that runs the printer, can actually tell that this is a cut shape. So in order to do that, you're going to first select the cut shape, and then you can press Ctrl Y again afterwards to get out of the outline mode. So Ctrl Y to get into outline mode, Ctrl Y to get back out, and then you're going to go over to your swatches panel, and you're going to assign a color to the actual cut shape that you want. Make sure it can be really whatever color that you want it to be. It can be pink, it can be cyan, whatever. I'm going to hit new swatch. You're going to take that color and it's going to create a new swatch. You're going to name this swatch Cut Contour. Now this is a very specific name that most RIP softwares will see and view as a cut path, which will cut along the edges of the path after it's been printed in a plotter. Then you're going to take the color type and set that to spot color, and then you're going to put the color mode to CMYK color. It can be RGB if you are printing in RGB, but at this particular example, we're going to be printing with just CMYK. So normally in the industry, everything is 100% magenta for cut contour spot colors. It's a lot easier to see on a screen when it's mixed with other colors of artwork. And then what you can do, after you press OK, you can take your cut shape, open up your layers panel, create a new layer, call that layer Cuts by double clicking on it, move with the dot right here the cut path to that layer, and then move the layer underneath your artwork. That way you can still see your artwork and make sure that it's going to be cutting where you want it to. And you can see here that it's a little bit outside, but it's actually the shape that we want. It's cutting all the way around these areas here, and we've actually completed it to cut in that area there and also in this area here. So your cut shape is all set up and you're ready to save the file, but first what you want to do is you want to get rid of all this white space around it, because the white space when you save the file will print as well unless you edit that in the RIP software. But to save yourself some time, just click on the cuts area here where the dot is, and then we're going to go to the artboard tool, which is right there, and you're going to click on the custom drop down here, and you're going to put in and click on fit to selected art. It's going to make the artboard exactly the same size as the cut shape. Now you can do that, but it's a lot better if you just give it a little bit of a bleed. So holding down your Alt key, you just drag this out just a touch to get it away from the edge, and then drag this out again. Now we do that because when it goes to print, sometimes we like to put a tile cut, which the tile is the entire width of the artboard that it's using, and if the tile cut overlaps the actual cut contour, there can be some issues. It might not be exactly as perfect as you want it to be. Alright, so your artboard's set up, your cut contour is set up, you can close your artboard area here, or your layer area there, excuse me. And then what we can do now is actually save the file so it can be accessed to print. So we usually save it as EPSs when we print. I find it gives a little bit better color. There are some engines like Onyx that will allow you to save as PDFs and open those. You can also save as a JPEG, but in order to actually utilize the cut contour spot color, you need to use either an EPS or a PDF. So we're just going to go EPS for now. We'll go to File, Save As, and then you're going to just pick a location, someplace that's easily accessible. I'm just going to save it in my downloads folder for now. We're going to call this Wildcat Decal. And we're going to change the format to EPS, and we're going to use the artboards that we just made. All or range 1 is fine if you only have one. All will save all of the artboards individually and also save the main file on its own without artboards. So we're just going to do range 1 for now. Yep, when spot colors are used with transparencies, changing them to process colors outside of Illustrator can generate unexpected results. What that means is that if there is a transparency that is over top a cut contour, it can kind of blend together and kind of confuse the software. So for this particular example, we're not going to worry about that because I know this will actually work out just fine. But in the future, you might want to rasterize any transparencies, like you see the transparencies in the Wildcat logo here, and make that a white background, and then make your cut contour shape and move it behind it in a new layer. So Illustrator 2020 is fine, 8-bit is fine, transparent is okay. You want to embed fonts, medium resolution is perfectly fine. All these settings can pretty much be left at default. All you're doing is just saving an EPS that you can access. So at that point, you're going to press OK. And now your file is all set to print. And in the next tutorial, it will show you how to access the file and get it ready with the correct media and colors.